Well, hello. Today for the meeting highlights is Monday, November 27th, although you can see it's nighttime, so it's really Sunday night, but I thought I'd film them today because I have a lot of stuff I got to do tomorrow, and I don't know I'm going to have time to get the meeting highlights in. I'd like to get them up before noon, so I thought I'm just going to film them tonight. It's going to be the same subject no matter what. But the subject this week is 3 steps to overcome a setback. Well, I usually start off with telling you how I do on my weight, but I didn't go to a meeting this week because I have my meetings on Thursdays, which was Thanksgiving, and there was no meetings. And I could have went on, should have went on Friday, but I had a lot of running around and stuff I had to do. I didn't do any Black Friday shopping, but I just had a lot of running to do. So I never got to a meeting. I did weigh myself this morning. I'm back on track. This is a good thing to have. 3 steps to overcome a setback. With Thanksgiving, everybody, I know it's just one meal. Everybody tells you it's one meal, one day, but then there's leftovers the next day. There's prep the week leading up to it. So, I mean, I'm not making excuses. I'm just stating facts. And they're ugly facts as it is. But, sometimes it takes a little bit, and especially now you really want to get back on track because this is the time where people gain the most weight between Thanksgiving and New Year's Day. I don't want to be gaining any weight. I want to be losing weight. So I did gain a couple pounds, just not too many, just a couple, but just enough to, and I'm going by my scale. I'm not going by the Weight Watcher scale because I'm thinking the Weight Watcher scale, I probably weighed a little bit more because I have clothes on. I weighed myself in just, my birthday suit, as you say, and that was a couple pound gain. So I got to really get serious, and that's my plan. So anyway, this is telling us how 3 steps to overcome a setback. Whether you've gained weight, gone over your weekly points budget, or had any other setback, step 1 is to remind yourself that this is a normal part of your journey. Step 2 is set your action plan into motion, and if you don't have one, let's fix that situation. Let's get with it. Like I said, I am prepared now to have a really strong, good week this week. I have got all my healthy foods in here. I'm going to start eating more protein, getting away from the sugar. I ate a lot of sugar over the last couple days, and, my body knows, and it's telling me, you had too much sugar. And I'm just exhausted and tired and sluggish and all of that stuff. You get that little sugar high and you feel really good for that hot minute, and then you come crashing down to earth, and then you want more sugar to get that feeling again, and then that just leads to weight gain, and I don't want that to happen, so I have to get back on track. But these are some tips that they're telling us to do. Number 1, think of simple, healthy behaviors you've leaned on in the past, then cross out any that may not feel doable after a setback. Some of the things that they say is attend a workshop, make a weekly grocery list and shop, prep some low-point lunches, reflect on some of your non-scale victories. This one is funny. Go to bed by 11 p.m. Okay, we're going to scratch that one right off right away. If I go to bed at 11 o'clock, my body is, when I was working, I had to get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I went to bed at 9:30. But when I retired in 2012, I slowly started becoming a night owl, and I very rarely have my butt in bed before 2 or 3 in the morning. I just love the fact that I can stay up late and watch TV, and I have nowhere to go in the morning, so I can lounge in bed. So I have no problems with that. I really don't. When I do make a point of going to bed early, because if I think, well, I got to get up early tomorrow morning, and I'll go to bed at 11 o'clock, which I've done, I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, wide awake, ready for the day. It was like I took a nap. So we're going to right away scratch that one off my list. Reflect on non-scale victories. I'm going to leave that one on there because I could have done a lot worse than I did. I really could have. We had my famous, that I love, my turtle cake. I could have sliced an extra slice and hid it so I could have had it later on and nobody would have known. I could have put some brownies or cookies aside, but I thought, no, you said you're just going to. Now, I had a big piece of cake. I'm not going to lie. I did have a big piece of cake. But in the past, I would have still had another piece of cake for later on. Or I would have saved a couple brownies. Or I would have saved, my daughter made chocolate chip cookies. I would have saved a couple chocolate chip cookies. But I said, no, I can't. So I enjoyed the big piece of cake. I'm not even going to lie. It was a big piece of cake. Kind of stressed that enough. But, and it was enough to satisfy me. And when Friday came, I had no regrets that I didn't save anything. I considered it a really good victory for my part because I didn't have anything to snack on. I didn't have anything to fall back on. And so I was able to get back on track on Friday. But not 100%, but close. I did a little bit better than I thought. Prep low point lunches. I don't prep, but my plan is to eat 3 meals this week. I'm going to eat a very light breakfast, a very light lunch, and then a healthy dinner, not an overabundance dinner. But I'm going to leave that one on there. Even though I'm not going to prep them, I'm going to plan on them. That's my thing. Make a weekly grocery list and shop. I don't need to make a grocery list. I have enough food in my house, and if I go to the store, I'm going to be tempted. And I don't need to be tempted. I have milk and bread and fruits and vegetables and all the stuff that I need in the house, so I don't need to be going out. And attend a workshop. I do plan on doing that on Thursday. Number 2 is from those remaining, consider which are easier or come more naturally for you, help you feel your best, or you enjoy or at least don't dread. I enjoy staying up late. I don't dread going to bed, so I don't have a problem with that. I do feel better when I go to a meeting. When I track, I feel better. When I reflect on some of my victories, I do feel better. I have taken to watching some of my older videos where I had lost all my weight. You would think that would discourage me, but it really does give me some inspiration because I can realize that I at one point in my journey, I was at where I am right now. And I still managed to get to a really good place on my journey. So I watch older videos when I was like 70, 80, 90 pounds lighter. And it gives me incentive. It really does give me incentive. It doesn't make me feel, it does make me feel a little bad that like I let myself gain my weight back. But it doesn't deter me from keeping going to know that I can get there again. And, sometimes it's easier for me to, when I really, really want to be on a diet, because it's a diet. I know they don't say it. They don't like to hear they say that, but it is a diet. But when I'm really feeling right in my mind, eating all the right foods, and my body is paying me back by making me feel really good about my choices, I'm really proud of myself. And I'm really feeling, you know what? This is the feeling I want. The feeling I've been having for the last couple of days because I've been overeating on turkey and stuffing and leftovers and stuff like that. I don't feel good. I just feel sluggish. And so I want to get back to eating all the healthy foods again because I know there's a memory of there's a memory of how well I felt when I did that. And so I want to get back to that. And number 3, choose 1 or 2 actions that feel the most realistic and helpful. Then write down an action plan for potential success scenarios. So say if I gain 2 or more pounds, I will prep my lunches and celebrate 1 non-scale victory a day. Like I said, I weighed myself this morning. I saw a couple pounds that I didn't like seeing, but I set a plan in action. I've made a plan. I had a very light breakfast. I had some yogurt with some berries and a banana and a cup of tea. I have a plan, and I'm going to get back on it. I'm going to get back to sticking to it. So let's dive a little deeper now. We won't sugarcoat it. Setbacks stink. And whether yours is a big slide or just a slip, it's okay if you feel discouraged, worried, or any other type of way. Try not to blame yourself or look for a scapegoat. There may not be one, and you can't change what's in the past. I overate. I ate too much. I made poor choices, but that's in the past. All I can do is look back and see where I made my mistake, why I chose the way I chose. Was it an emotional eating binge that I had? Was it just because it was all my favorite foods that I don't usually get? And just kind of reevaluate why I went so crazy because I don't like doing that and I don't want to do that anymore. But you can plan ahead for how you'll respond to these things. When you're in a cool, calm, and on-track state, it's easier to create a simple plan you'll actually stick with. Compare that to the heat-of-the-moment response where you might try to overcorrect only to get frustrated when you can't build 10 new habits in a week, or you may swing to the other extreme and want to give up. I always think that, I need to remind myself how easy it is for me to stay on track because, really, it is easy for me to stay on track. And when I go off, I think, what triggered that? What caused that? Why did I do that? Especially if I've gone like a week or 2 or 3 weeks really, really on plan. And then all of a sudden I go crazy and start binging. I have to stop and sit back and reflect on why I did that. Most of my problems this last year has been that I haven't been tracking. So now I am back tracking on my phone, and I need to get back tracking in my book. I haven't been doing it in my book, but I need to double track it. And when I double tracked this when I lost all my weight. So I know that's what I have to do. I don't need to build new habits. I just have to remember the habits that I've had in the past that worked, because there were plenty of good habits that I had that I've just kind of let fall to the wayside, and I can't let that happen anymore. I just can't. So always remember, setbacks happen to everyone. What matters is how you react. Deciding ahead of time which routines you'll lean into because you know they work and play to your strengths helps ensure bumps in the road are just that and not the end of your journey. If you watch my daily vlog, you see that my major setback was I bought a treadmill. Actually, I've been told it's not a treadmill, it's a running pad, but I still have a bar that I hold on to with the bed frame on the bed, and I have a bar on the top that I was holding on to. I made a mistake and hit the wrong button and increased my speed from like 2 miles an hour to 8 or 9 miles an hour. So obviously I couldn't keep up and I fell. So it kind of put a scare into me, and I haven't been walking. I do plan on going back walking again tomorrow. I've learned that I'm not going to walk unless somebody else is in the house, just in case I fall again. But I can't let just that little tiny setback, the one time that I made a mistake because I hit the wrong button, that caused me to fall. I need to get back to walking. I plan on going to Alaska May 1st on a cruise. There's going to be a lot of walking. There's going to be a lot of stair climbing and things like that. Going to the glaciers, I'm going to be climbing, and I have to get in shape. So I have a plan and a purpose in mind that I'm going to really get back on track and start eating correctly. And, you know, I watch so many people and I think, oh my gosh, how do they do it? And I feel bad when they have a setback. I'll start off with that. I feel bad when they have a setback. But then I feel like, oh my gosh, they have setbacks too. I guess it's, it happens to everybody. So sometimes you just need to be reminded that, lots of people have setbacks. You're not the only one that has setbacks. And sometimes their setbacks are bigger than others, but I don't know of anybody really that has lost all of their weight completely and never gained that back, not 1 pound. Granted, there's a lot of people out there that have lost all their weight and then reined it in when they've only gained 3 or 4 pounds, and then they lost it again, but they've never not gained like a pound. They might have had a week like, oh my gosh, I ate a little bit too much, I gained a pound, but then they got right back on track and lost that pound the following week. That's what I need to start doing. I really do. So 3 fast facts. Setbacks often lead you to think you should give up or overcorrect your behavior. You don't need to do that. Just a setback is just a reminder of how far you can go if you just remind yourself that sometimes it happens, and don't blame yourself and don't beat yourself up. It's just not worth it. Number 2, creating a plan for how to respond to a setback ahead of time can help you get back to what you usually do. Sometimes it's Thanksgiving. Everybody knew, at least I knew, I was going to overeat. I just knew it. So my setback plan should have been get right back on Friday and don't eat any leftovers. But that I waited too long for that setback plan. But I think that if we keep in mind that we can always do a plan that's going to help us when we have a setback, that we're going to succeed. And number 3, a plan with simple actions can set you up for early and quick success. There's no such thing as quick and easy success. I don't understand that, because I understand that it can help you get back on track, successful that way, but it takes a lot of hard work to lose your weight. And trust me, I know, because I did it before, and it was not an easy task. It really was not an easy task, which makes me all that matter at myself that I allowed myself to gain my weight back. But like I said, I've done it before. I'll do it again. I'm just tired of doing it over and over and over again. I just want it this time to be the one and done. Just that's the way I want to be. So anyway, 3 steps to overcome a setback. Did you guys have some setbacks during the holidays? Because I know I did. And I was wondering if anybody went and weighed themselves. I should have weighed myself on Thursday on my own scale before Thanksgiving, so I would have probably stayed in track a little bit better, but I didn't. So, but like I said, that was in the past, and you can't change the past. You can only learn from the past so that you have a better future. So that's my plan. So I hope this helped you guys. I think this really, I always like that they always do kind of come up with something that's really going to be beneficial to me at least. So hopefully it's beneficial to you too. So in the meantime, like, comment, subscribe, and share. I hope I see you on my daily vlog, but if not, check back next week and see how I did. If you really want to know how I did on my weight this week, check my daily vlog on Thursday, because on Thursdays I let people know how I did on my weigh-in. I'm anticipating a small gain, but I'm hoping for a stay the same or a little, really tiny little loss. So check in on Thursday and see how I did. Talk to you soon. Back. Let me get rid of this clock before we start because it's making too much noise. It sounds like a bomb going off, but I love it. But it does, I've had people complain about it, so let me get rid of it. Anyway, I should have done that first, but you know me. Just take me as I am, because that's the way it's coming. Anyway, that made no sense. Today is Monday for the meeting highlight purpose. I'm really messing this all up. Anyway, so this is a blooper reel.